bro. What it do? I was waiting for a fella such as yourself to jump on. What it do, bro? Let me just... What it do? You're on a streak. Facts, bro. You and me are both on a streak. We outcha. We outcha. Yeah, let's see. Same daily habitual thing. Studying more Dolores Cannon, and then kind of got heavily into the Tree of Life. Do you know anything about the Kabbalah? I'm like trying to memorize it. It's so intimidating at first. So much information with all things Jewish mysticism. Yeah, there's kind of just like endless things to learn from the Tree of Life and the Kabbalah. Essentially, it's a map of consciousness linked from the humans to the divine, which is quite interesting. What's going on with you and the pups? How's caretaking? How's soul searching with your purpose? Did you find your birth certificate? I bet caretaking has to have some good physical labor in there as well, probably. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. So you work sometimes like, well, 12-hour days are super long. That's not for the weak. You're a brave soul. That's super wild, though. You need some rest. Sleeping is such a interesting concept. It's like so weird. Like, I don't want to sleep, but it's so good for us at the same time, and there's so many things that happen subconsciously, as you know. I'd rather stay awake and like do and be, but I know, facts, bro. I'm like a 6-hour sleeper, which probably honestly isn't healthy for us. Technically, sleep is like, not only is it a time and a place for our brain to deorganize, declutter, all of these things, sort and things like that. Like, it's really healthy for our brains. It's like housekeeping for our brains and our bodies as well. But also, we technically, as you probably already understand, can go over to the spiritual side. And for example, if you've ever had a time in your life where you had a dream about someone you don't like, and you're like, dang, like, why am I dreaming about them? Probably because you're going into the spiritual realm, meeting their soul, and y'all are hashing out how to kind of fix whatever karma you have going on. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Isn't that weird? So you like meet people in your dreams that you don't like to hash out some karma of what it'll look like in the 3D physical here. So if you ever wonder, oh man, like why can't I get this person? Why am I like dreaming about this person? I don't even like them. That's why. You might not remember what your conversation is about, but it's probably subconsciously it's going to be something about whatever riff you had with them. Or if you like and know and trust the person, then it might be planning some future things within this lifetime together to energetically do or sort out, which is like wild. Or even if you've met you can even like meet whoever you want in your dreams too, like on the soul side of things. So if there's someone that you really like and enjoy on a soul level, you can actually meet them and have a conversation with them in your dreams, which is like so cool. It's super cool. Like there's people that I've had conversations with, I just like ask them something I want to ask them, and then they give me a really solid answer. It's like, and then I'll wake up and I'll be like, dang, that's so cool. It's like you just met like a famous person or someone that you normally wouldn't see in your 3D reality. You can meet with them in the 5D. I'm gonna get that book, Life and Death. Yes. I did officially link those in my storefront. And so if you want, you can go check it out there. It's a really great starter one. I mean, there's still stuff in there that really blows my mind. But to kind of get you on understanding on a deeper level, technically it's remembering, because our 3D physical bodies have to relearn, but our subconscious already knows this information as facts. Yeah, it's so bomb, dude. You'd love it. It's so bomb. I probably have it right here somewhere. I just grabbed it real fast. We can chat about another thing. Some of what I'm talking about to you, a lot of what I'm talking about to you is in this. Yeah, so it's basically a reminder, and that's why this information will resonate with you. You'll be like, oh dang, like this makes sense. I feel like it's kind of dark in here. Oh, it's a little better. Yeah, brother, it's like, so essentially when with death we have a couple of different exit points in our life. We have a couple of different exit points in our lives that we choose on a soul level. And in the spiritual realm, when we choose these things, we're like, it'd be cool if I could go out like this, or this. Death is never an accident. Keep that in mind. So even though there's some things that seem like freak accidents, this and that, these things were predestined and picked out by our souls, and a lot of the time this is written in your chart in the stars as well. Like, I think one of the ways I'm supposed to die or have a potential to pass is like something very sudden, and I probably won't know that it's going to happen. For example, it could be like dying in my sleep because of a house fire, something like that, along those lines. Or like something crazy happening like to my body, like within blood or something like that. Like there's some weird stuff in my chart. It should be like sudden, for me at least. But yeah, so like with, I've always been obsessed. Yeah, I know, same. It's like, it's such a taboo topic, but it's such an interesting topic. Technically we have multiple exit points, which you might have experienced some near-death experiences already. One time I almost drowned when I was a child. some angel just popped me right out of that water. I was in a river and I almost freaking drowned. That was for sure at least one exit point if I wanted it. Our souls say yes or no. That's why you hear about all these miracles in the hospitals. It's like people miraculous come back to life. That's their soul saying, they're on the other side, but they're like, they're speaking to their spirit guides. I don't want to go just yet. I got a few more things to take care of. So the spirit guides will be like, okay, sounds good. The person will come back into their body, into the 3D in the hospital. And what'll happen is the doctors will be given exactly what is needed, the information that is needed to keep and resuscitate that human, and then they'll be like, oh, it was such a miracle, I don't even know, I was just guided to resuscitate this human like this, and then it worked. So like a lot of those miracles are actually the soul saying, hey, I'm not ready to go yet, I actually want to come back, I have a few things I want to finish up. So we have multiple exit points in our lives, and nothing is ever by chance or by accident. Of course, we shouldn't decide to go suicide, because that's going back on an energetic agreement. Of our agreement is to expand consciousness through all the different ways that we can give back and create. What was I going to tell you about death too? It's just so fascinating. It's so fascinating. Like Jesus, for example, Jesus agreed to the cross. He's like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This makes sense. For sure. It's technically, you completed your mission in this lifetime for the amount that you could, and then it's like recycling, you're coming back new. Technically, you and I right now, everyone on planet Earth is living to die right now, and our cells are regenerating. Our cells are regenerating and dying off, and brand new ones are popping up and downloading consciousness out of nowhere. So our cells, our biological cells on a biochem level, right, are reincarnating right now, which is wild. Yeah. So we're always reincarnating every single second of our lives. And then, what else? Thank you for the hearts. Yeah, so we have exit points. We can choose to go out on those exit points when we want, or come back. And then you graduate. Death is graduation. It's you completed as much as your soul could in this specific lifetime. You graduate, you go to the other side, and based off your frequency, there's no heaven or hell. Right. There's no heaven or hell. Those are constructs of our own minds. When we go to the near-death experience, people envision, because we can project with our minds, what we think will be the afterlife. And so that's why people are always like, oh, heaven and hell is real. No, what's real is your mind has projected those things before you crossed over, and then you came back, and you can tell people about your near-death experience, but you haven't actually passed over to the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is multi-tiered, okay? Think of it like lower vibration, and you and I have kind of discussed this, higher vibration. Jesus is like higher vibration up here, Buddha, all those like gurus, right? They're up here. You and me and he and we and she and thee are probably right down here, and then we have the animal kingdom below us, which is like 1 through 3. But if there's anyone that you know that's lower consciousness, there are human beings with lower consciousness that are like a 3 on the grand scale of however high it goes up. Those people are usually like psychopaths. They don't have like higher consciousness yet, but they want to come here to try to expand their consciousness. So no one ever really goes back down in consciousness. Everyone is either staying at the same level or they're ascending. So that could be another definition of hell. Hell could be what's the definition of insanity, right? Insanity is going mad because you're repeating the same cycles. That's exactly what actual hell would be. It would be staying in the lower vibrational realms. Anyways, so once we pass over, they're based on our own frequency, our own consciousness, whatever level we're at, we are able to go into those specific areas on the spirit realm. It's basically you can get in by a certain vibration. If you're not that vibration yet, you have more to learn, and that's okay. You'll get there eventually, but we're all at very specific vibrations and are allowed to go into different sectors within the spiritual realm. There's all these cool things on the other side. A lot of it is similar to what we have here on Earth, but it's just way more expansive, and a lot of it is like schools, like we learn more together, we can review certain things. We have soul family over there as well. It's very similar to here, it's just in a different realm. We have resting places, like if a soul has a really horrid experience, like terrible experience here, they can go to this place on the spiritual realm called the resting place, and they can rest. It's basically where you kind of like sleep and like level up in a video game. And then they can decide to do more learning when they're ready and then reincarnate again, wherever that might be. Like, it's so bizarre, everything that's on the other side. It's so bizarre. But yeah, for sure, this book you'll absolutely love. It's right up the death and spirituality side that you're starting to get into. Yeah, it talks about schools, it talks about your spirit guides. We always think, oh, we're lonely. You know, there are times in our lives where we feel really lonely. We're never actually alone, which is kind of like creepy for most people to hear and see, or like, yeah, we circle back around. Yeah, you'll have to, for sure, you'll love it. Yeah, so we can circle back around to lower, wherever we're stuck at. Like, people can get stuck in lower realms because it's a very dense, heavy energy. Technically, Earth is a very dense, heavy energy. So it's very easy for human beings to actually get stuck in the lower vibrations. That's why we have to be very intentional every single day to rise above the 3D. That's like one of my mantras, is to rise above the 3D. Our energetic vibration is what can keep us in those higher dimensions. When you think about a dimension, a higher dimension vibration can go down into the lower dimensions, but until you have increased your consciousness, a higher vibration can't go up into the ones above where you're at, if that makes sense. It's kind of like school, where, you know, if you're a reading level 4, then you're not doing the reading level 5. You're sticking with the reading level 4 until you can get to the reading level 5, for example. Which is, yeah, it's quite interesting. But yeah, man. Oh, and on the other side too, there's a lot of planning and preparation for your next life, and wherever that might be too. And then also there's hierarchy on the other side as well, just like we have here on Earth. How we have government, we have systems, we have hierarchy systems, right? Same thing on the other side. It's just a much more loving, well-organized hierarchy. The hierarchy on the spiritual realm is very good. But yeah, we're never actually alone. We always have spirit guides, and what the cool thing is, as your life kind of changes and develops, sometimes you might actually have a new spirit guide come and guide you, and you can call upon their energy. The reason that might happen is, say, maybe you're in a specific career path and you change careers. You'll have someone on the other side, a soul who is very intelligent within your specific route that you're trying to go on a soul level, who will help come in and guide you. For example, with me, I've switched from real estate to the spiritual side of things, so I for sure have, probably energetically, my real estate focused spirit guide has since gone and helped someone else who's probably getting into the real estate business, right? And then I've had probably a new spirit guide come through to help me with leading people on spirituality and all those things. So it's pretty cool. We're pretty much always taken care of. We're always loved. We're never alone. And it doesn't matter what religion you are, right? It doesn't matter. None of that's all a construct that we've made for control, to control other humans, which is not okay. Because the only thing we can control is ourselves. And if that's... Control is like a harsh lesson to learn, because how do you learn a lesson, a spiritual lesson? If your soul correction is control, the way you get to learn control is by being controlled. Eek! No one wants to be controlled. But how would your soul learn that lesson? The best way is to be controlled. And then you're like, oh wait, I hate being controlled. I'm never going to try to control someone else. I'm going to let them do and be as they wish and please. So, yeah, it's always best to learn and grow your soul as much as you can. Learn your lessons, reflect on your life and see what is the theme here. One thing I can say for myself that has been a big theme is love, self-love. Loving myself, knowing myself on a deep level, because the deepest part I have met myself is the deepest part I can meet others. Facts. And that's what the universe will do. And it's nothing to be, fearful of or ashamed of or this or that. It's to integrate these lessons, to change, to grow, and it's a beautiful thing. Anytime we have these hardships, what we should say, the very first thing we should say when ish is hitting the fan, right? I'm talking about the ugly. Not the good, not the bad. I'm talking about the ugly. When the ugly is hitting the fan and you're like, usually, people resort to, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? That's not what you should say. You should say thank you. You say thank you. This is a more healed version of a soul. They say thank you, universe. Thank you, creator. Thank you, source. Thank you for mirroring to me exactly what I need to work on to become and step into my highest timeline and learn my soul corrections and tikkuns. Because I can tell you right now, with the example of control, if your soul correction is control, not to control others, then you're going to have some very harsh experiences of being harshly controlled, right? So, yeah, it's a blessing to have hardships, because that's the time to integrate and to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I see the lesson. I see what exactly is going on. This is how I'm going to move differently. This is how I'm going to transmute this negativity, this negative energy towards higher consciousness for myself and others, which is pretty cool. So it's really awesome. And yeah, I mean, those life events, those turning points, if you will. Right now, we have a huge turning point within the USA, right? Those events, those crazy events that happen are the ones that really shake things up and make long-lasting, everlasting, pure, true change. Yeah. And here's the thing, too. Exactly, I hear you loud and clear, brother. So the coolest thing is we're taught, shoved down our throats by religion, which I do love religion. I grew up in the church, but we are taught inaccurately that we just get this one shot. You know how much pressure that is on people when they think they get one shot and then they don't even know for sure if they're going to heaven or hell? You know how much pressure that is? That's inaccurate. That's inaccurate. That's control. That is false. The truth is, for example, being a woman, right? For me, it might be like, okay, I'm in my early 30s. Like, I've had pressure all my life. Oh, you should have been married with children by now. And I, carried that pressure at times when I was younger. But now that I understand the spiritual realm and how things actually work and the truth of life, that we don't just die and go to heaven or hell, I understand that, okay, maybe it might be in my cards this lifetime to have children, but maybe it's not. And either way, that's okay, because I've probably had children in my previous lifetimes. And also, I'll probably have children in my future lifetimes. We all, yeah, facts right now, for sure. And the other thing is too, I guess, about, anyways, what I'm trying to say to kind of sum that up, you guys, is we all actually are so blessed, and we have eternity to have all these soul corrections and to figure it out and to grow and expand in consciousness together. And it's absolutely beautiful. You're staring into my soul. That's so funny. Yeah, what was I gonna tell you guys? I'm like just yapping. But anyways, yeah, so be hard on yourself in a sense of wanting to do the right thing the best you can within your current circumstances at all times, but do not be hard on yourself in putting so much external pressure and biases. We are popping off. Exactly. Look at us. We be popping off. We're gonna be popping champagne here. We're gonna be popping champagne in the spirit realm. I don't even drink, but popping champagne just sounds fun. But pouring champagne out for our homies. We out, ya. Anyways, yeah, I digress. But yeah, like, life is like way cooler than we're taught. And the spirit realm is way cooler. Like, we are so blessed, we are so loved, we are always with our guides. Sometimes we have one, sometimes we have multiple. Like I was telling you, sometimes they interchange depending on if you have a big change in your life and you need help in a different sector of life. Yeah, life is freaking dope. And then we'll come back again. Even our pets and stuff, like the energies of each other, we get to come back again, whether it be in this world or a different world. We get to come back again with those energies too. So even when, say, someone in your family or your friend or someone dies that you know, love, and trust or whatever, it's not the end. It might feel like the end, but it's only temporarily the end. You're gonna come back with them again. Or even your pet can reincarnate into your own family. Like, there's just so many cool things that can happen. So many cool things. Life is super good. Even when we are struggling through it, it's okay. It's still fantastic because it's just a little glimpse in eternity. So, it's very cool. Thank you guys for being here. We're missing our friend Permaculture. Permaculture is such a funny word. Permaculture. Permaculture. You must be dealing with a lot of, like, carbon, organic materials. I appreciate the follow, thank you. Permaculture. Oh yeah, I was saying, Ethan, we're missing our friend. Permaculture. That's as deeply rooted you can get into the 3D, is that permaculture here. We're missing our friend Frater, our brethren. Maybe he's at a golden, what is it called? The Golden Dawn Club. Potentially. I might just grab you guys and, like, lay down back here because I kind of just want to relax for a second. This is, like, super bright. Yeah, this is fine. Get a little cozy. Just growing food and plants with as little interference as possible. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Permaculture. So interference could be, pesticides, anything that's not of the earth. Anything that's like probably man-made essentially is, or even tilling the land with man-made products would be interference as well, right? Shoot, I'm out here, I'm a freaking permaculture genius. I've been growing my own food, shoot. Actually, I need to leave that to the professionals like yourself, because I ain't gonna be growing no food. I would starve. I would literally starve. I can't even go camping. I'd rather be posted up in a hotel. I'm sorry. But I do respect, this is essential and I do respect it. Plant seeds away animals, dude, that's cool. Yeah, same, bro. I can't keep a plant alive to save my life. I would die. I'd be like, no, I can't. Yeah, I'm sure it's something I could for sure learn, but it's not in my cards. It's not in the cards for me, so I appreciate. It's like teaching a fish how to, teaching a fish how to swim is natural. How to climb a tree, though, is not natural. Oh, it's so good. I 100% agree. And we should be better at taking care of it for sure. We're not as good as we should be. But I think we are learning and growing together, understanding that it needs to be taken better care of. So collectively, I could probably say things are going in a better direction, but for myself, I would just have to say, like, I'm too rubber goose cream this job. Yes, thank you for that. We needed that. That is a perfect segue into whatever we're going to talk about next. Obtuse rubber goose. I appreciate that, guys. We out here. This is a community. Large fries chocolate shake. What is that from? The Oddly Parents or whatever. Fairy Godparents or whatever. Right? Solid memory. He must be on that permaculture diet. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's very kind. That intelligence level is for sure supplied by the permaculture diet. Like, anyways, yeah, so you guys have any questions about anything dealing with spirituality or where you're at in your soul path? Like, is there anything that's kind of pressing that we could discuss? What are we talking about? We're talking about all things spirituality. All things on the soul level that you can't. Oh, permaculture. Basically, I'm not an expert here, but our permaculture friend in the chat, who is with us right now, is saying that permaculture is essentially growing food and plants with as little interference as possible. So that's like tilling the land with your bare hands, essentially, without using any type of chemicals, this and that. That's getting out dirty and gritty and dirty. But it's necessary, yeah. It's going to be as organic as, it's like the most raw, pure, probably the most flavorful as well. Because when you're cutting back on all the processed things, it's going to be very flavorful, from my understanding. Now, you're not going to catch me outside doing no gardening, but I'm just going off a riff of like what I understand with the knowledge base that I have. But yeah, So yeah, but yeah, if you guys want to segue into an obtuse rubber goose down the path of spirituality. Yeah. Oh, what is good, brother? Everybody in the chat, please welcome Frater, which is our brother. He might have been at a golden event. Who knows? Welcome, Frater. We appreciate you, brother. Okay, we're talking about like all things spirituality and permaculture for some. We're getting on that permaculture train. What impact does our current environmental impact have on other dimensions? That's interesting. From what I would guess, we always want to take care of what we have, right? Be good stewards of our land, be good stewards of each other. But when it comes to like a crisis that happens, like say in outer space a freaking crater comes and just knocks all of us out. The good news is we do have other dimensions and we are immortal souls. So if something bad did happen to our environment, we're a multi-dimensional, like multi-universe species. We're not everyone, Elon Musk and whatever, they're like, oh, like let's get multi-planetary. Yeah, that's great, but that's just focusing on the local here. Like there's actually tons and tons of other dimensions and like places you guys have probably even been on before this lifetime. There's probably a good chance that some of you have actually been to these other places. What happens when you come here is if you have been on other worlds or whatever in the multiverse, you'll get soul imprinting. Like what that is essentially helping you to navigate on this realm much easier, because you'll get lifetime downloads from like someone else's lifetimes that were on planet Earth. I might be talking out into the stratosphere here, but essentially we're always taken care of, like no matter what. And energy is never, the conservation of energy, right? Energy is never destroyed, it's only transferred. So, which is cool, because it doesn't mean we should be reckless, but it does mean that we are much more taken care of and loved than most people understand on a daily by higher source, higher dimensions. So, yeah, I'd say no matter what, we're taken care of, which is freaking awesome, but what is up, Crispy Bacon? We got bacon in the permaculture chat. What's good, brother? Where's my frater? Where's my brother in the chat? Oh, we still got my brother frater in the chat. Ethan in the chat. What is good, y'all? Thank you guys for joining. I'm kind of in like a more relaxed, laid back. This is a nice laid back environment. Mr. Hernandez, thank you for joining. But yeah, we're always creating. So no matter what, we'll solve the issues here more than likely, and we're always creating as a species, but also on the spiritual side as well. We're always learning and developing and creating. That's why you feel your best when you are like creating or giving back or growing. In some sense, you feel your best being a creator, because you are a fragment of Source, God, Creator, a fragment of it. So that's why when you're depressed or someone's depressed, there's an earth physical. My boy Frater, let's go. There's an earth physical and an earth astral. Exactly. Yes, exactly. He's speaking on more of Jewish Kabbalistic insights and wisdom, which we love. Very, very good. So, yeah. It's very similar, it's just based on energy. There's schools and there's all these other kinds of fun things that we get to experience. Okay. Thanks, Ethan, for being here, brother. Take care. Many blessings. Peace and prosperity. Hasta la mañana. Appreciate it. Hurts in the chat. That's all we do out here. Love is a very high vibration. Appreciate you, brother. Have the best evening. So, Frater is saying the element of earth is a combination of all the elements. Yes. Precise. You're very precise with it. What else? What else we want to discuss? The astral realm is like, if you will, since we got permaculture in the chat too, is like the permaculture of the soul. It's tending to the soul. It's tending to learning. It's tending to knowledge. It's tending to growth. It's tending to soul corrections and understanding how to erase specific karma paths based on what you've previously done. And the crazy thing is too, like, so we plan a lot of these things on the astral realm. On the other side, we even can plan these things, as I was stating earlier, when we're asleep at night. You ever had those times where you have someone in your dream that maybe you had a riff with, or did you wrong, did you dirty? And you're like, why am I dreaming about this person? And you don't even remember what you're talking about in your dream. You're probably energetically discussing how to clear some karma of whatever the riff was that had happened between y'all, which is kind of wild. Excuse me. But yeah, astral realm is permaculture of the soul. It's said that the moon rules over the astral realm. The moon isn't true light, it's reflecting. Yeah. I haven't dove into that as much. I do understand, I guess, on the hermetic level, which you're probably kind of discussing. That's from, like, Egyptian hermetic beliefs or understandings and teachings, I believe. Yeah, so the sun is technically the masculine energy, and the moon is the feminine energy, the feminine vessel. And the moon lights up and reveals and illuminates the fullness of the moon. Nothing to be scared of, butter. You know what's smooth? Double butter. Okay, yeah. The astral realm seeks to deceive. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have, on both sides of the coin, test for the light, yes. And that's why a lot of times, too, you're completely right, where darkness will come out and try to test your truths. Anytime you start to believe something with your own full heart, with your Keter, what your Bina, and then your freaking whatever the heck this one is, you have that da'at, that connection there is because you're actually believing what you have learned with your internal heart. Divine darkness as well, 100%. 100%. Kabbalah, yeah. Actually, I'm gonna have to get out my freaking cheat sheet here because I'm still trying to learn all this. Oh, Kabbalah cheat sheet. Cheat sheet here. Yeah, so your Bina and your Chokmah on the Tree of Life connects from the crown Keter. So this is Keter's crown number 1, Chokmah's number 2, Bina's number 3 from the divine source, the closest to the divine source, right? So that when you have the spark idea and you have the ability to express that, your da'at, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, it becomes the energy of da'at, which is internalizing your truths and living by them. It's not just knowledge of truth, it's living by the knowledge of your truth. Homa in Hebrew, we don't pronounce a C. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. So that would be Hakma. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, brother. You're always taking care of me. We out here learning together. Anyways, what we were trying to discuss. Oh yeah, like the dark forces and the light forces. Technically, they're all on the same spectrum. It's just different sides of the same spectrum, right? So the definition of insanity, which we were kind of discussing earlier, is being in a repetitive cycle. That's technically what hell would be for a soul, is repeating the same cycles. Fires in the chat. Let's go. We out here. Yeah. Holler, brother. So many interesting connections within so many different disciplines. Yeah, I'm obsessed with the Tree of Life. I freaking love it. It's so helpful. Like a map of the soul, of understanding what is what. It's so helpful. Let's do a build on the tree. What does that entail? I'm down. Tree of Life, let's go. Welcome back, Avery. I appreciate you being here, brother. We're discussing the Tree of Life from the Kabbalist teachings. Very interesting map of consciousness that connects our souls to the divine intelligence. The center pillar is the longest. Yes. Yeah, I have another book on that. Oh, thank you so much for following. That's very kind. Nice. Okay, I hear that loud and clear. What was I gonna grab? You know what I've been loving is my Kabbalah handbook. I don't know if you've seen this one before. Essentially, it just gives like a thicky, look at all them bookmarks, eh? Thicky breakdown of all like the definitions of this and that. I'm really loving this table. I'm really loving this table here. Anyways, I could probably link this on my storefront. I did link all of the books I've been talking to you guys about, with especially anything Dolores Cannon. Get your fingers on that. That's going to be extremely helpful. Oh yeah, so I wanted to kind of look at the different pillars you're discussing and talking about. Frater. Yeah, the pillar of mildness. The left pillar is pillar of Severity, and then there's the pillar of mercy. Mildness. Perhaps I'm missing some information here. I mean, it's the one connected to the divine, with Keter, the crown at the top. All the different pathways. Pathway 10 to pathway 1. Yeah. Where are we at? Welcome. We're basically discussing a little bit of the tree of life for welcome back, Permaculture. What is good, Ronnie? Welcome. Yeah, it connects, essentially, that pathway would connect the divine into the 3D. Kind of like the magician in the tarot. Or like the cross. Which, I don't know if it was you or someone else, but I do really enjoy the cross being more equal lengths. I do feel like that's a better sigil. But I'm obsessed. I love, like, the cross. Christ consciousness is what I do try to live by. I feel like that's just a given. Yeah, I like that. I do like that a lot. I did actually... Let's see. Have you read anything in the Zohar? I've been lately on like a Kabbalah and a science kick. I need to read a little bit more of the Zohar. It's always been quoted in class. Facts. Essentially, from my understanding, the Zohar is about the breakdown from a spiritual Kabbalistic sense of the 5 books of Moses. The first 5 books of the Bible. That's super cool. Are you talking about like a class within your... Yeah, 100%. Within your group? Yeah, 100%. Within the Golden Dawn? Yeah, the cross is a very interesting symbol, and fire is also a very, very interesting symbol. I love fire. I'm actually going to look it up in my book of symbols here. Let's see. Let us see with our eyes. It's hard to do this with one hand. I'm about to do 2 hands here. Where should I put this? Fire is active in water absorbs things on the container it's placed in. 100%. What is the Alsnot? I'm gonna take a screenshot. I be screenshotting what you say all the time. My phone is like screenshots of what you say. For further developments on this learning journey. This learning. Ooh, there's a fat section on fire. Dang. People across the world are trying to have us accept their invites. Yes. Fire is active and also is. Okay, got it. I hear you. No worries. Are you talking about a current transit, planet-wise? I'm actually gonna look that up. Oh, snap. Yeah, so it just went in Scorpio on 2 days ago on the 22nd. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Ooh, that's cool. Madim. Yeah, I love it. Deep transformation. I love Scorpio energy. It's so delicious to me. It's essentially diving off the deep end for wild transformation on a soul level. Drive, willpower, action. Ooh, it's right up my alley with all this. Basically, hidden forces rising, the power of secrets, taboos, transformations, collectively truths coming to light during this transit, which is hilarious because all I've been preaching and teaching on is weird, obscure things in the spiritual side. More like, or about death a lot, which is an unfortunately, extremely taboo topic in most cultures. But alchemy and purging and renewal, I love it. It's the death and rebirth. Okay, let me see what y'all are saying here. Yeah, I'm obsessed with Hebrew. I'm like, I need a Hebrew Bible. I've been doing my Hebrew on Duolingo as well with Latin. So what does it even mean right now when I say that? Well, when invoking Mars, it's better to use... Oh, okay, I hear you. Magical language. Yo mama's DADDY. That's a funny tag. Also, the moon is waxing crescent in Scorpio currently. Yeah, waxing crescent energy. Let's see. We're basically building up slowly towards the full moon. So essentially, that's going to be getting our intentions in alignment to take divinely led action as we start to build daily towards getting more momentum on our soul goals. The next full moon is like 2 weeks away. We might even still be shedding a few things right now. This week we're shedding and kind of integrating whatever we're leaving behind in the past, if we're closing out karmic cycles, right? Very exciting times if you're wanting to progress on your soul's journey. For people who are not wanting to progress, it's very dark times because you're going to be repeating these cycles, these harsh cycles. Ooh, what's good, Permaculture? Yeah, Frater, I hear you loud and clear, brother. We see eye to eye, or soul to soul, dare I say. Dare I say soul to soul? I'm obsessed with Scorpio energy, which is hilarious because Scorpio energy is also obsession. It's a very typical thing to do and be in Scorpio energy. Oops, sorry about that. Oh snap, we're at an hour. But yeah, what else? So you're saying, oh here, we should build a moon ladder. Build a moon ladder capturing each full moon onto a consecrated thread. Energetically, is that what you're talking about? I feel that. As like some sort of ritualistic type of process. I would be very much so interested. Probably utilizing Hebrew, because you're saying Hebrew is a magical language. Full moon, we take out a thread and tie the full moon into the knot. That's cool. What would be the intention per each knot? I hear that loud and clear. I hear that loud and clear. Essentially, anything we do with specific intention can be considered magic, because the thing about this life and the thing about consciousness in general is we can manipulate energy, and you can do it for good, and of course you can also do it for bad. What is a DSL? Is that something inappropriate? Mr. Salad or Miss Salad? It's to get a full 12 full moons, then utilizing the thread into manifesting it. That's super cool. I love that. Okay, I'm not sure if egg salad is being inappropriate or not. If you can explain, or if you can be respectful. Either one. Well, both. Por favor. This is a safe space. We respect each other on a soul level. This is a magical place of learning and growing and manifesting and nodding. You're cracking me up. The thing, Frater, which you already know this, I'm preaching to the choir. Like, everything you and I say, we pretty much are preaching to each other, but we're preaching to the preacher, let's be real, not the choir. Yeah, I hear you. Exactly, energetically. The other thing to note, though, is technically the cool thing about energy, Frater, is the super subconscious is taking notes of everything to the very finest detail. And therefore, technically, what we can do is utilize our time here on Earth to build what we want. And what'll happen is our spirit guides and energies on the other side will take care of other lower vibrational energies. The law of karma, right? Anything that's put out there will be handled. So yeah, technically we don't even have to bat an eye. We can just be like, yep, we've got powerful spirit team with a bunch of heavy archangel energy that will take care of things. I want to be a witness to this karma, though. You are a witness to it because you're living. You can't be talking about spiritual vibrations and energies with a slip. It's so funny how much flack I get about, like, lip filler. And the funny thing is, I always don't feel like I have enough. I'm like, I need more. I need more. But apparently it's, like, way too much for most people to handle because they go down the wrong path with their thoughts. Which I'm like, okay, well, that's for y'all need to handle your lust out there because that's a lower vibration. Lust is one of the lower vibrational energies. Yeah. There's sacred intimacy, but then there's lust. Sacred intimacy is the vibration of love, which is higher. Lust is down here on the lower vibration. That's going to be like your OnlyFans, your this and that. Control your lust. Learn how to control your lust. There's a time and a place. Okay, what are you saying? Handle the... yeah, bruh. Study use some of this Kabbalah here. Some of this tree of life, brother. This is what you need to study. You don't want that lower vibration. You want that higher connection to higher vibration, to God, to the divine, to the source. It's so funny. It's so funny. I handle that, yes, brother. That's part of life. That might even be part of your soul correction, is to handle that part. Welcome, Nicole. What's good? If you guys don't know, she does tarot card readings and she's awesome. Great energy. Oh, hey. We're talking about all things spirituality. And right at this moment, we have gotten into the lower vibrations of lust. Lust is much different than sacred intimacy, which would be love, which is a higher vibrational frequency, right? So anyways, there are lots of energies out there that have struggled with these lower vibrations of lust. Facts, sister. Facts. You be preaching too. And Frater is very well adversed in understanding the truths on these as well, which is pretty dope. With the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. Yes. High vibes. High vibes. Higher frequency. Exactly. There's much more above that. Much, much more. Sacred spiritual intimacy is the route to go, like unity. I actually need to do a video, like a longer form video on this. Essentially, y'all, when it comes to the vibration of sharing your vessel, okay, your energy, the Bible states, right, don't have sex before marriage. I hope I don't get flagged by TikTok for saying that word, but so I grew up on that. And that was the extent of it. And so you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? What's the deeper meaning? Is that true? Is it not true? To what extent is that true? Well, let me tell you. Thank you for being here and for listening, because this is important. What happens when we share our bodies with other people? Okay, doesn't matter who it is. He, she, they, them, thee. Doesn't matter. We are actually fragmenting our energies, and where it's kind of like entropy in science. Entropy is when your molecules disperse and there's disorder. For example, an ice cube melts. That's entropy because the molecules are falling away from each other. Same thing. Thank you, Frater. We got fires in the chat. Fires in the chat. Same thing on a sexual level. The Bible states don't have sex before marriage. That is true to an extent. The reason you shouldn't be sharing your body with God knows who, right, is because energetically you're giving some of your light to their vessel. You're spreading yourself out, right? So you're losing some of your life force. If it's not a divine union, you're energetically threading yourself out energetically with these people across not just this lifetime, y'all, across multiple lifetimes. So you share your body with someone that's not a good person. You're going to be with them in future lifetimes potentially, because you're energetically, like, it's like a tapestry of energy, if you will. So if you don't want to be connected with these certain energies, or you have a one-night stand with someone and you're like, I mean, who hasn't had a one-night stand? But if you don't understand this, when you understand the energy behind what happens and what actually goes on, then you'll never want to have a one-night stand in your life, because you're like, okay, I don't know who this person is. I don't know where they're at on their soul path. I don't want to be tied to them karmically in other lifetimes. So it's extremely important. So where's the truth in the Bible, right? What's true about that phrase in the Bible of don't have sex before marriage? What's true is do not have sex with someone you do not intend to be intertwined with on many other spiritual levels and lifetimes. So the thing about marriage too, right, is it's the union. It's a sacred union. So it's all about intentionality, right? Yeah, and since lust is a lower vibrational energy in general, that's a lower vibrational energy, and when it's not controlled, you can fall into lower vibration. Is more dense, so it's easier to get trapped in those energies. That's why when you see those OnlyFans, when you have those energies, they're gonna get trapped from across multiple lifetimes doing that type of stuff. They're gonna get trapped in that type of cycle, because it's so dense, it's so low, it's extremely dark. You're not just affecting your own tikkun, soul correction, and your own self, your own energy across lifetimes. You're actually affecting every single person that watches on the screen as well, because you're ruining their marriage, you're ruining their whatever, right? So on so many levels, your energy is sacred, your vibration is sacred. You are trying to ascend as a soul on a vibrational energetic level. Therefore, do not have and share your energy with anyone whom you don't want to be intertwined with across lifetimes. Okay, but I gotta see kind of what you guys are saying, because I haven't been reading this at all. Yes, it's a science. Exactly. There's a science to it. There's science, there's metaphysics and physics and all types of... Yeah. Exactly, it's very draining. And what you should do, and this is what I've done too, because I've messed up in this department, sharing myself, like, who hasn't had mistakes? We're humans. What you can do is you can call your energy back to you, and you can state out loud in a prayer. You can state out loud with your hands open wide, and you can say, I call all fragments of my soul back to my vessel. And you can start utilizing, call that energy back in that you have given out so freely, okay? Maybe it's not even someone that you've had intimacy with. Maybe it's just someone who's siphoned your energy, right? So call all that energy back to you, and see, you'll wake up the next morning and you'll look a little bit different. Why? Because it's energy, and it transforms and it transmutes. So when you call your energy back to you, you'll feel less drained. You'll also you'll look a little brighter. You're going to be sparkling a little bit more, glowing from the inside out, because you're calling your light and your energy back to your own vessel. So yeah, it's a matter of not falling into those lower vibrations, but... Okay, it's very draining. I feel great after... But, okay, I'm gonna send something... What? In increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. What are you saying, Frater, about that? Oh, yeah. Exactly. Call your energy back to you. It's precious, and there's so many dark forces that will... Nature abhors a vacuum, right? There's so many dark forces that will try to suck the life out of you. And you must always protect your energy. You must always... I feel like it's a good thing just this day and age to have that be in your daily prayer at least once. I have a couple daily prayers that I cycle throughout the day. One of them is actually praying for my community, you guys. One of them is calling back my energy from siphons, and a lot of the other stuff is making sure that I stay focused. I got my evil eye bracelet always, right? Staying focused on digesting and learning the right things to be able to help you guys out and whoever else. But yeah, having in your arsenal, I like to put them into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT will just say them out loud for me throughout the day. Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to look into that. I got another screenshot here. I'll always be screenshotting you, brother. How do you go about losing a connection with whom you vibed on a high frequency? Yeah, you're going to want to do prayer and meditation for that is what I would do. And Frater is saying you can call on specific deities for that as well. Here's the other thing too, sometimes you might have a really fun time with someone, but they might be putting on a mask, a facade. Salt bath is a great way too. For me, I love the black evil eye bracelet. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I love it too, thank you so much. All I do is wear black. Yeah, Frater is right with taking a salt bath. There's so many things you can do, you just have to put the intention in to your mind. And I like to speak things out loud because the vibration carries a lot of energy and frequency, right? So it's good to speak out loud as well, what you're doing and what your intentions are. We even discussed Heard of the Evil Tongue. Explain more. For me, when I think of evil tongue, it's like anything the darkness still even knows. Oh, for gossip. Yeah. Yeah, I would say protection with that. Yeah, I hear that loud and clear. A lot of times in some of my prayers from ChatGPT, I'll have anything that is said about me, or if people are whatever talking about me, that to be transmuted and for them to find no fault. Yeah, it's a great way to protect yourself from all these different spiritual attacks that we can have from so many different energetic levels. Dang, y'all, this is freaking best discussion of my life. I'm so glad you all are here. Yeah, exactly. Protecting ourselves even when we think things are all good. Because energetically, it's like housekeeping. You gotta keep up on your frequency energetically every single day. You gotta have your practices. I highly recommend reading spiritual texts as well. Because the religion doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is the vibrational frequency increasing. Meditation and prayer, those are my two favorite things just because I've found immediate results. How do you know when someone is putting a facade if the vibes are good? Discernment is a tricky beast because it can save your life, right? Discernment is something you can gain over time, and I'd be really intentional if you feel like you don't have discernment to the degree that you would want, which most of us need to work on discernment daily. Discernment is integrating your wisdom into your reality. Discernment is understanding that there's coherence and there's dissonance. With dissonance, how do you spot dissonance? Okay, when someone says something but does something else, or when they do something but say something else, or you fact check, right? You don't just, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's me. If I say something to you guys can fact check what I say too. Discernment is thinking for yourself. Discernment is going into your inner core and seeing, okay, how do I feel? A lot of times it's intuitive as well. So it's not just learned and experienced, but discernment is intuitive too. And ask Creator, ask your guides to help you with all of this stuff as well. Discernment is like, divination essentially. Let's do karaoke, please. That's hilarious. So what Frater is describing as divination is essentially putting out an intention and a question and asking, whether it be your guides or, sovereign source, the quantum field that we all sit in, the super subconscious that takes note of everything, sees everything, right? He's saying you can do divination. Divination is tapping into signs and symbols, asking a question. It's going to be like tarot. There's so many things. Yeah, I love tarot. I've got so many decks. Tarot is really fun. You can do those dowsing rods, which are essentially copper rods. The yes and no copper rods. You can ask. You just gotta, it says in the Bible, right? It says, ask and you shall receive. Oh, that's very kind of you, Nicole. We should actually do a live together, and I can just be in the live and you can do readings. You're very great at that. So Frater, he's right. That'd be so fun. I'd be down to connect on that level. That'd be great. Essentially, guys, when it comes to divination, you can utilize tools within your own space to have divination, whether it be for example, tea leaf reading, or, there's so many different ways to, even looking into fire or looking into, it doesn't matter. Divination is just essentially utilizing your 3D physical objects to extract information, downloads, stuff like that, which through transcendental meditation, you can also get downloads as well from source. What was I going to say, though? Oh, the Bible states, ask and you shall receive. You need to state out loud, please give me discernment. Please teach me the lessons I need to integrate discernment. Or even ask for a specific sign. Your guides will give you a specific sign. You could say, hey, if this is something I should do, please show me a coin. You can get very specific with it too. Show me a silver coin, not a copper one. And then boom, you see a silver coin. You're like, okay, thank you for giving me. You just need to ask, set the tone of this is the symbol or the sign that I'm looking for. If this is the direction I should go or whatever, please, show me, please tell me. But yeah, divination is freaking dope. I love it. Yeah, dreams. Oh my gosh. All over the Bible. All over. I refer to the Bible a lot just because I've read a bunch of the Bible. There's a lot of wisdom and magic, and dreams are in there heavily. Joseph was cast out by his brothers, put into slavery in Egypt, and then rose into power in Egypt. Now, one thing that he was very good at was understanding dreams, and he helped save the nation at that time. Dream journals, 100%. Dreams are huge. You can be asked to be shown in dreams to get information, and listen and pay attention to your dreams. Every time you wake up, you should be thinking about, okay, you write it down in your journal like Frater is saying. It's huge. You can be given so much wisdom, so much insight, so much discernment. I'm going to give you guys a recent This is like really foul because it's disgusting, like kind of what happened to me recently. I was talking to someone, we'll call him a gentleman, but he's kind of nasty. So I was talking to a gentleman, and he went on a trip with what he was saying were friends. It was 2 younger females. Right, already, red flag. They went on a camping trip together, okay? Well, guess what? Before I even found this information out, the night before, my angels gave me a dream. And what was the dream? The dream was, it was me, the gentleman who I was interested in, and a blonde girl. Do you see blonde on this head? No, you don't. You know why? Because it's brunette, dark brown, right? So it was us 3 in the dream. The guy that I was interested in went over to the blonde girl and gave her a massage in my dream. Then he came right over to me and gave me a massage, and it was the exact same massage. So it's like, okay, I woke up and I was like, what the heck? I was like, he touched her the same exact way he touched me. That seems kind of odd. Well, guess what? I go onto Instagram and he's out with a blonde girl. One of these younger females is blonde. So I was like, I don't even need to, I just completely energetically cut all my ties and cut all my energy because I had the information I needed. Why would he touch another girl the same way he touches me? And yeah, after I had that dream, I was like, okay, thank you so much, angels. Thank you for this insight. Thank you for the discernment to make a decision based on my intuition in my dreams. Right? And this is, you can make decisions, and my intuition and my dreams and my angels were on par, guys. He was absolutely sleeping with both of them, I'm pretty sure, because then I did my tarot, and I was like, let me know if it's a threesome. I know this is kind of foul, but I'm trying to give you the guys, this is the most recent example of me tapping into my intuition and my dreams and my spirit guides to make decisions. And guess what came out? The devil card, which has three in it, right? So I'm like, probably had a threesome, which I'm not trying to share my energy or my body, just like we were talking about earlier. You don't want to share your energy energetically with people that are spreading their energy out, because if I were to share my body with him, right, I'd also be karmically tying myself to those other girls who I don't know, the younger girls that I don't know who they are, what they're doing. I don't want to get tied up in their karmic, whatever, lower vibrational energies of lust. So anyways, the power of listening to your intuition, the power of listening to your guides, of asking, of being shown, it's huge. It'll save you so much heartache. So I cut that energy off immediately. Easiest decision I ever made, because I was given the information I needed without even having to have a discussion. I was shown and I was given it. So, very cool. Very, very cool. Trust your gut on these things too. And then act accordingly. Okay, I know how energy works, and I do not want to be tied up karmically with people that are sharing their body across the whole state. No, thank you. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for soul ascension. I'm here for divine union, if that is in my cards, which all of us have that opportunity. If it's what your soul is yearning for, it's probably in your cards. But yeah, wild. I'm out of breath talking about that, because it does get me worked up that people try to, when you're tapped in, like you guys here, you guys are tapped in, people try to mess with you, darker energies try to mess with you, try to manipulate you. They can't get past the protection that you have on the spiritual realm. And that stuff is opening up more and more to us as we collectively expand our consciousness and we rise together in frequency, which is super cool. It's going to save us a lot of pain, trauma, a lot of karmic ties and contracts that we shouldn't be getting into, or we might have previously in the past potentially have gotten into it, but now we have more discernment and more connection to the other side to be able to move past these things quickly. It is a slippery slope. you get into some, bad karmic juju with some of these other energies, and then it's a slippery slope, and you're trying to get out of that stuff for months or maybe years or decades, like who knows, or even lifetimes, right? So it's like very important to take these things very seriously. You don't want to cut yourself off from the world, but you do want to have discernment, and if you do not have discernment, you need to just ask for it, to be given discernment and to have protection, and it will be given to you. So yeah, no crusty, dusty, musty fusties in our energy fields, because we ascending. Shoot. We ascending. Oucha. Anywho, so I hope that wasn't too dark, but yeah, that was what I experienced literally last week. So super recent example of how dreams are a huge tool we can utilize. What is good, Allie? Welcome. I hope you and your family are doing extremely well. So, anywho, the cool thing about dreams too is even if you don't understand what it means right at that moment when you wake up, you can, of course, like Frater is saying, you can jot it down. But then throughout your day, you're going to be mustering on it, and you'll be given, likewise, you'll be given the information that you need throughout the day as you kind of like think through, and you'll get some signs throughout the day of like that tie back into the meaning of your dream. It's very cool. It's a beautiful tool that we have available to us to help navigate our 3D existence together. Okay, y'all, it is 9 o'clock, so I think the spirit realm is all they're trying to signal us, yes, to include the subconscious, like the superconscious. I'll leave you guys with this to fester on or think about this evening. The superconscious. One way the superconscious talks to us, and Frater, you're completely right, is through ailments, physical ailments. And guess what? The physical ailments are quite literal. So when your back hurts, or someone they're like, my back hurts, maybe you're carrying too much on your back, too much on your plate. You have someone who has their hand or their wrist is aching and sore. They're holding on to something that they're not letting go of energetically. You have someone that has cancer in their life. Cancer is usually pent up, stored energy of anger. A lot of times the ailments that we have on a physical manifestation of what's going on the spiritual / emotional internal realm or soul level, right? Like what's going on will come out and manifest on the 3D, to include our face, guys. One way you can have discernment too is the face. The face. If you haven't ever studied anything within the Chinese face reading, it's a beautiful thing to study because exactly, completely right. Our face have muscles and micro muscles as well, where we have micro expressions all the time that kind of form our face. We are externally, our face is kind of an expression of our internal feelings. So if someone's mad all the time, they're going to get like the 11, or like if someone's crying all the time behind closed doors, they're going to get like the chin little, like when you're sad or crying, you get those little chin dimple thingies. The face is actually a great tool for discernment. Now, each feature kind of means different things, and the thing about a face is you have to put all these features into one reading, so you can't just say, oh, this person's a psychopath because their nose is whatever, going towards the left. That ain't it. You have to read the whole face, the whole picture, right? Actually shows you a lot about what's going on their internal, because our face is an expression emotionally. So for example, someone who has a widow's peak, I have like a little bit of a widow's peak, I don't know if you can see it here, but is someone who's actually highly intuitive, someone who has You ever see those butlers or like housemaids or whatever that have, or people within politics that where, or even maybe pastors or people of great service where they have their chin and their neck kind of go together? That's a sign of someone who serves other people a lot of times towards the detriment of themselves. So there's so many things you can actually read from the face as well that give you a lot of insight as to the behind closed doors, what's going on in this person's life. And that's why our faces change over time as well. You look at pictures of you 2 years ago, your face has slightly changed because you've gone through different experiences and had different expressions. That's so nice of you. Yeah, I highly recommend you look into the Chinese face reading. It's an ancient art, and you don't want to judge, right, a book by its cover, right? But you can kind of put together and see some pieces of people, who they are deep down, because our face is an expression of the inner. Whether that's good or bad, maybe it's turmoil, it'll show up on the face. Maybe it's a lot of love, a lot of compassion for others, it'll show up on the face. You'll have more round cheeks when people have a lot of compassion for others, or like a round tipped nose. Like there's so many people who have bigger egos will have more of a larger nose. If your nose, I don't know, there's like, I could talk about this forever because there's endless things to know and understand about the face. So that's another like fun tool for discernment as well, when you start to understand the different features and what they mean. And your experiences you've had a lot of times show up on the face. So yeah, you should look into it. You guys will really love that. I love it too. It's so fun. Your ears as well. When you have like chunks, if anyone has chunks out of their ears, that probably usually indicates that they had some major trauma issues when they were very young. And sides of your face, some people don't have symmetrical sides of their face. Like some people have very symmetrical faces. I would say mine's decently symmetrical. Some people don't, right? So if you don't have a symmetrical face, what that means is the right side is usually indicating your public life, business, what have you. Your left side is indicating your personal life. So if you ever see that someone's face is kind of, or it actually tells you a lot about incongruency, right? Incongruency of how they appear to others on the exterior with who they are in their personal life behind closed doors. So a lot of times people that are in the spotlight, well, they will have faces that are not as equal because they're kind of putting on a different mask for being in front of XYZ compared to when they're just chilling at home or doing whatever. So yeah, that's one that I'm glad I could share that with you guys, because that's another just fun rabbit hole that you can go on. That's a fun rabbit hole. Yeah, you can tell a lot about someone even by the shape, anything on their face, like the shape of their eyebrows. It's said that people that have eyebrows that go closer to like their hairline are a lot more, like they have good manners with when they meet people face to face. There's so many things. People that have really straight eyebrows, those are like military type of people. Like they get shit done. They're like on time. They're action. People that have straight, no curve, just a straight brow, or when it's fluffier versus when it's skinnier. The other thing is to think about too, when people go get modifications to their face, okay? Moles on their face can mean different things. There's like, since I get lip filler, guess what? That actually modifies how I behave, because lip filler, having more voluptuous lips, is something about, yeah, exactly. Lip filler, having fuller lips is said to have a love for drama, which can be channeled in different ways. Some drama can be really bad, other drama can be good. Like maybe it's just being silly and fun or dramatic in your expressions or whatever, right? The nose, anytime you get modifications, that can actually also change your personality and how you express and do life as well. So how you do your makeup, if you're a female, when you do your makeup in specific ways, you are broadcasting on a subconscious level to other people who you are. So for me, for example, when I have like way too much going on here, but when I have lighter inner eyes, it makes it subconsciously, you're going to believe more about what I say, that I'm saying it from a place of like compassion and certainty or whatever. Like I'm more connected to the spiritual realm or other realms or whatever. It's like there's endless possibilities with this stuff, and yeah, it's very, very interesting. So I'm out of breath. A yap sessions got me out of breath here. Oh, I'm out of breath. Or buck teeth. You see how I have a gap in my teeth? I've had that since I was a child. You know why? Because I had a divorce. My parents got divorced when I was younger. So this is separation. And incongruency. When I was younger, when I was in the womb, it developed. Well, you don't develop your teeth like that, but out of the womb, my parents got divorced when I was like 1 or 2 and my teeth were coming in. So boom, gap. Okay. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's just part of the experience, and the experience manifests on ourselves to include, right? To include energetically across lifetimes as well. Like a lot of times if you see someone who has a lot of freckles on themselves, that means they probably died in a fire in their like most recent past life. Like there's so many interesting That's so funny. You're cracking me up. So it's not everything in life, no matter what it is, there can be anomalies, right? It doesn't matter what it is, there's anomalies. But the thing about face reading is, with any type of divination or reading in general, you want to get the full picture. You don't want to just pinpoint one thing and then be like, oh, this person's a bad person. No, like get the full picture of understanding them on an energetic level. Maybe someone would have gap teeth because maybe their parents weren't divorced, but perhaps something in the household where they were around energetically had a large separation of some sort. Maybe it wasn't their family, but it was something else, you know. So there's so many different avenues within this space, but yeah, so anyways, yeah, that's something for you guys to kind of think about as well. And you can even like kind of dissect your own face too and see, okay, when I look into Chinese face reading, what about this is kind of accurate in my own personality and how I carry myself behind closed doors and in front of others, right? How we process emotions and all that good stuff, because micro expressions over time form our face because they're muscles. So it's very, very, very interesting. And as people change over time, their face changes over time. How we listen and digest information, you can tell by people's ears. If they are quick and they digest information quickly, their ears are usually higher up. If they're more slow at processing, their ears are usually a little bit lower. A larger jawline like this a lot of times indicates that someone is very set in their beliefs. They're not easily swayed. So if you have someone who has a very thin jaw, they're probably someone that actually could be more easily influenced. Stuff like that. There's very many things for you guys to explore on that topic, which I think is quite helpful, just because, as you know, the more information you have, like, life is super cool. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I appreciate you, Frater. My pleasure. This is the last thing I'm going to say. But you can think about this stuff too. You'll start to see the world through different lenses, as you guys already do. But even when it comes to obesity, for example, in our there's many levels that someone can become obese and unhealthy in their physical vessel. One of the levels that someone can become obese is in a past life they starved to death. And so now they're overcompensating and they're obese. So you never want to, judge anyone for where they're at on their soul journey. And you can kind of start to see the lens through a different lens. maybe the soul correction is learning how to balance taking care of themselves because they were out of balance in a previous life, and that's their soul correction in this life. So it's pretty cool to see how even our 3D manifestation of ourselves, our bodies, is linked to previous lifetimes, even to future lifetimes as well, if you will. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so everything that we see with our own eyes is only 0.003 to 0.005%, right? So yeah, there's so many things with past life energies that we can be much more compassionate towards what we see in our 3D physical, right? Which is really cool. It's bizarre, like the amount of energetics that are going on behind the scenes that we a lot of times don't think about. When you start to swan dive even deeper into some of this stuff, you're going to see the world through a different lens. You're going to have way more compassion for yourself. You're going to have way more compassion for others. It's just so good. It's all so good. Yeah, we're a lot of times we do reincarnate with previous groups that we've been here with before, energetically good bonds and bonds as well that perhaps are more karmic, but we need to wrap up specific lessons with them. So yeah, the good, the bad, and all the rest, everything in between. Yep, exactly. And we should pray for them as well, because we're all going to the same source. It's just like Charlie Kirk. He was never against the human being behind the extreme leftist. He was against the values they had. He was never against the human. He wanted to help in raising the collective consciousness of the extreme leftists. So, exactly. You guys are right on par. Exactly. There's multiple dimensions to all of this, and more for us to all explore together as well, which is super cool. Endless possibilities of soul ascension as we just flutter up together as we get to that Jesus consciousness, Christ consciousness ascension, that good energy. Yeah, and we'll keep this going. This is what it's all about. We out. Ciao. Cool, man. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate you. I'll be jumping on tomorrow. And yeah, let's go out there and fight the good fight. It's not that we're just into frequency, it's that everyone is frequency. Mr. TikTok. So you're into frequency too, you just might not know on what level yet. It's like a fish in water, you don't see the water. Yeah, I'll be jumping on. I'm trying to do like a 7 to 8, but what I've decided is I'll just pop up a TikTok video that'll tag like the exact time that I'll be hopping on, because for some reason it's not in my soul contract to be on time right away every single time. That's something I'm working on, guys. But I do promise to jump on. Yeah, we can talk about chakra energy tomorrow as well. That's a good alliteration, my guy. We out, yeah, with the alliterations. What's good? Hey. Yeah, I'm finna be live. In the next lifetime too, looking at my For You page with my videos on it. And I'm finna be live then. I'm finna be live. We all frequently finna be. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm getting delusional. I appreciate y'all. This is the best. Gang, community. Let's go. Yeah, jump on tomorrow. We can talk about more energy, chakra, basically anything you guys want to discuss within this type of, anything. I'm here for it. I love the chakras. Speaking of chakras, I did actually, if you guys go to my YouTube, I've been adding some of my chakra frequencies to my YouTube. So you can go there and get a little dose of some of the ones that I listen to that I think are nice and good. And I just released my meditations playlist as well, because we were talking about that yesterday. And I also highly recommend y'all read anything by Dolores Cannon. Her stuff is phenomenal. I put all that stuff on my Amazon storefront. I pretty much just have books on my Amazon storefront, so I just took down some of the beauty stuff because I'm like, I don't really want to push beauty products that's so irrelevant. So yeah, definitely check out the books and stuff. Anything that I will get behind book-wise, I will put on there, so. Cool beans. We gotcha. We ascending, y'all. We finna ascend. We all alchemists, that's right. Yeah, for sure. I put the link, I actually was able to add the link to my TikTok, which is pretty dope. So you can actually access both my Amazon and my YouTube from TikTok now, which is nice. Appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and let's freaking go out there, win the good fight, which is soul ascension collectively, across many disciplines, across many lifetimes, and across many universes in the multiverse. We out, ya. Peace. Hasta la mañana. Hasta la pasa. See you tomorrow. Military order. All the blessings. Sending love and light your way, guys. Amen.